Yes, students, good evening. So, students who are in the online, I am audible. Come on, quickly. Okay. So, now we will start with the most important discussion. So, last class we already completed. What is the topic name completed? Topic name completed quickly. Exception handling. So, perfect. Huh? Perfect. All of you. Girls, more girls are there today. So, boys, compared to boys, girls are good. Very good. So, perfect. Exception handling. Can I ask one or two questions? Boys, girls first or boys first? Boys or girls? First question to girls or boys? Huh? Boys? Girls? Boys. Okay, in boys, who will answer my question? Karishma, girls. Okay. Boys, who is the first person to face my question? Very good. Stand up. What is the use of finally block? Good, good. So you have to use, it's nice, it's good. You have to say it is used to write block of statements for releasing the resources. So example is closing the file. Okay, good. So next girls. Good, sit down. Ma. So, okay, Sagar, good. Lakshmi, good. Ma. Girls, offline girls. What is the use of except block? Anyone? Because if I say one or two or like that, you may feel. That's why I don't want to make you to feel. What is the use of except block? Who will answer? Raise a hand and answer. If you hesitate, tomorrow you have to answer in the interview. Na? Why to hesitate, ma? See that Ranjan is saying, all of them are saying. See how they are answering. To process the exception. Converting technical error message into simple, easy now. Okay. Why do you use else block? For generating results. For generating results. Why do you use try block? For monitoring the exceptions. Okay. So have you executed yesterday's case study? Not executed. Some of them executed, I know. Most of them not executed. Am I correct? Yes. By looking at you, I can say whether you studied yesterday or not. Also, I will say, because that much psychology I have. When I look at you, I will tell you whether you studied yesterday or not. Also, I will tell you. Practiced? Who practiced? Raise your hand. Only one or two. Okay. I expected. Girls, when we touch the computer, we will get a job, daily going to office and coming to home. Difficult, na? We go on coming to Amirpet, we will become senior citizen. Like that you want to do? Practice today. Come in. Today you practice it. Rocky. Okay, very good. You are raising the hand. Fine. So try to practice today. Today and tomorrow you need to practice. So keep that. Already I send a RAR file and take care of it. So now I will start. What is the concept name I am going to start? Files. So let us start with the files. So now files in Python. Files in Python. So let's start with the files in Python. Now, index. Always it is our systematic procedure to go for index. What we are going to. So last and final, students in the online, are you perfect in exception handling? Are you perfect in exception handling, students? Very good. Good. Come on, quickly. Good. So let us move to the files also. We enter into that. There we will talk about always two levels of explanations will give. Level 1, level 2. From the beginning of Python programming, two levels, current level and next level of industry. So first one is always purpose of what? Files. Why we use files? After these files, after the file topic is over, we'll talk about PDBC, that is Python database communication. It is most useful to do the projects in real time. That's why try to listen after the files in Python. I'll go for Python database communication. It's really most powerful topic. To understand that, you need to understand me carefully. Purpose of files, why we use files and all those things. Okay. Next, I will go for one more kind of thing. Types of applications. Types of applications in the context of files. In the context of files, there I'm talking about non-persistent applications, non-persistent applications, and the second is called what you know, persistent applications. Persistent applications we will talk. Non-persistent applications, and next is called what? Persistent applications. That is the second one. Okay, students? Good. Next, we are talking about, I will explain all these things. Next, definition of file. Next, I will talk about types of files. There I will take about text files, and next is called binary files. See students carefully, binary files. Okay. Next, I will talk about operations on files. There I will talk about read operation, read operations, and next is called what you know, write operation. Read operation, and next is called write operation. Right? And the next steps for and read operation and steps and all those things I will explain there. Next, file opening modes. There I am talking about number 1 is R mode, number 2 is called W mode, number 3 is called what you know, A mode, number 4 is called R plus mode, number 5 is called W plus mode, number 6 is called A plus mode, number 7 is called X mode. Very important. Generally, people will talk about only these two. Take any Python students. Of course, when they come to Python, I don't know what is the level of that. I have seen already many of the people. They know only this part, and we are discussing this. All these things very practically I will be giving. Next, after that, we are talking about file opening approaches, number of approaches to open the file. There, option A, with the open function. Next, B is called what you know, with of course, instead of that, by using, I will write it by using open function. Next one is what you know, by using with open as approach. With open as approach. That is the second one. First one is with open. What is the difference between this A and B? We will talk about that. Okay. Next, functions required for reading the data from files. Option A, read function. B is called what? Read of number of chars. Next, C is called read line, and D is called what you know, read lines. See that every moment of it, libraries are coming. Next, functions required for writing the data to the file. Functions are required for writing the data to the file. Required for writing data, writing the data to the files, There we have two things. One is called what write function, and the second one is called what? Write lines function. Two functions are there. Followed by up to here, followed by programming examples. Now after that, I will be explaining there only, or after that or before, I will explaining random access files. There we are using seek function, and the next is called what B function is called listen function. LIST, listen. Next is called seek function, and next is called what I think seek is called one, and the next is called what? I think listen function. So we'll take care of that. We'll take care of this. Seek function, and next is called what? Listen function. We will take care of this kind of random access files. We will talk about it. Are you getting me? Right. So next, about this library, I will take care. Nothing to worry, because I want to give you recent library functions. I want to give you random access file. Let us keep it as this. I'll go for it. Next, functions required for writing the data, programming examples. This is called one level of information. This is level 1. Level 2 is called what pickling. Pickling is nothing but what data of the data, that is nothing but serialization we can call. Serialization of the data. We can call. And unpickling, that is nothing but deserialization we can call. This is called pickling and unpickling. There I am going to talk about module name for pickling and unpickling. Okay. So there we are going to talk about it. Followed by what? Programming examples. Implementation of what? Pickling and unpickling. This entire thing is called advanced programming. So this is called the total index of my files. Followed by many more examples in every moment of it. This is called what? Index of files. Okay. Is my index is clear? Is index is clear? Raju, for the last videos, if you want, contact the admins. Okay. So coming to the point of it. Come on. Is the index is clear? Now I am going to say, okay, Raju. Okay. Sorry to hear. So please try to contact the admins once. Try to say the same reason. So they may give you. Okay. Please continue. So last 3, you missed some 4 days. If you don't mind, that is not going to be reflecting to your current discussion. That is not going to be the reflecting to current discussion. Even if it comes, you can go for it. Right? Fine. So, Brahmani, so you are having beginning. When you are joining in my class, you contacted the admins, same number. Or if any number is not there, last moment I will give you the number. Okay? Let me move to the subject. Come on. Right. So now I am going to start with what is the need of this files in the programming of Python. So already this files concept, this index, towards this index, I prepared even advanced programming also. I added to my programming. Okay. So let us start with. So C language, there is a files concept is available. C++ also files concept is available. Java also files concept is available. In .NET also, there is a files concept is available. Like that, in every programming language, files concept is available. So might be you studied any of these languages already in your career. Might be you studied any of these languages in your career. Am I correct? Studied? Studied or not studied? Say yes or no. Studied means no problem. Not studied means I will explain in detail. Studied or not studied? Not studied. Raise the hands. Not studied. Okay. Studied. Studied. Okay, you studied. Can I ask one question? No, sir. If you ask question means only studied. Only the knowledge sake. That's it. You just study in such a way that where you can get the job. That is called a studied. Okay, studied and forget means it is not LKG mathematics, na? Once we study, we need to work on the project. We need to work on the subject. Okay, studied and forget means it is a difficult. Okay, anyhow, this you leave it since I am not dealing with this. Whenever I deal this kind of thing, it's my previous expertise. Java files, just becoming master in this. Since I left this area, I came to this Python almost from last year onwards. So I'm just in the Python only. Maybe coming industry is only Python with. And it's good news for all of you. Most of the companies is going to start Python developer directly. Need not to learn even in data science also. Almost when I spoke to my friend who is there in IBM, friend in the sense almost is my junior. He is my Java student also. When I started teaching in the beginning career, he was my student come junior. He is in IBM. He also want to learn Python. He is going to join in my Python batch in the evening 6 o'clock when it is going to start. So most of them are migrating to Python developers. Directly Python projects are going to commit SIMs. Already NASCAM is a general body meeting, general body for all the MNCs. Python software developer directly, like a Java software developer, like a .NET developer, like that already jobs started creating. Okay, in a 6 months, it is going to spread in almost all the things. Okay, so be perfect in all these areas. Let us start with what we discussed so far. Let us coming to this diagram, students. Now I am going for introduction to files. I am going to start with introduction to files. There it is our discussion started with. So in our previous example, in our previous discussion, up to yesterday's class, the applications and programs we have developed are comes under what? Are comes under non-persistent applications. The applications and programs we have written up to yesterday are called what? Non-persistent applications. Meaning is we accepted input from where up to yesterday's class. I will see the online charting also. Up to yesterday, up to yesterday, up to yesterday, up to yesterday, up to yesterday. What we from where we have taken the input. Future row some wrong answer. See that everybody is saying that from keyboard, from keyboard, from keyboard. Up to yesterday, we read the data from where? Keyboard. Keyboard data, keyboard, of course, dynamically that is. Keyboard data stored in where? Keyboard data stored in where? Main memory. Of course, object. Objects are residing in where? Main memory. And we processed that. And then we displayed the result on where? Console, that is called a monitor. That is only we did now. We read the data from the keyboard. We stored in the main memory in the form of objects. We processed the data and we displayed the data onto the monitor. That is on the console. We have seen that result. We call that application as non-persistent applications. If I come to the diagrammatic format like, if you understand me that, now I am writing like this. So I am just writing, this is my Python program. This is my Python program. Let us take it as this is my Python program. So this Python program gets the data from the keyboard, So I'm getting it from the keyboard. Let me write a little. a diagrammatic representation where you can understand me quickly. This is called a keyboard. From the keyboard, we read the data. We read the data. We read the data from the keyboard by using which function? Which function we read the data? If you don't say the answer, how can you survive, guys? How can you read the data? By using input function. By using input function. So I'm writing what? Input function. That data stored in where? Main memory. In the form of what? Objects. In the form of what? Objects. Object 1, object 2, object 3, etc. OBJ1, OBJ2, etc. OBJ1, OBJ2, so on. N number of objects are created. N number of objects are created. Fine. And what we did after that? What we did after that? We processed that. We processed that result. Processed the input and then displayed the result or not? Such a type of result displayed onto the monitor. Such a type of result displayed on the monitor. Okay. Such a type of result displayed on the monitor. So I'm going to say such a type of results displayed on the monitor. Fine, students, look at this. Displayed, the result displayed. So I'm saying that result. I'm saying that result displayed on monitor. On monitor. So like this. Which function we used for displaying the result on the monitor? Print function we used it. These are the functions we used so far. This type of application so far is known as what? Is called non-persistent applications. This type of application is called non-persistent application. Keep in mind, try to understand me quickly. Non-persistent, meaning of persistent, try to understand. Non-persistent application. Persistent means once if I say in the class, you will remember like anything. You will remember like anything. That is known as what? Persistent. Learning today, forgetting tomorrow is called which student? Non-persistent student. Once we say one thing, that will be remembering for every time. Is known as what? Persistent. Are you persistent student or non-persistent student? Non-persistent student. Very good. So coming to that, so you should be a persistent student. Today, this is a programming already we did. Next, what are we doing? We want to store. Now, first further example, I am going to move now. Carefully try to understand. From now onwards, we want to store our data. We want to store our data permanently. We want to store our data permanently. Where we want to store the data permanently, the word called permanent is an important. In which cases we are going to store the data permanently? You take financial sector. You take financial sector. All the transactions of financial sectors maintains the data permanently or not? Where they will store the data permanently? The only two places. One is in the form of files. One more is in the form of database. Fixed, these things are fixed. Storing the data in the form of what? Files. One more is in the form of database. So first our topic starts with what? Storing the data permanently in the form of what? Storing the data in the form of what? Files we are going to store. We can also store the data in the form of what? Database also you can store. Database also you can store. But now I am going to store my data beginning. In which place I am going to store? Files I am going to store. So where are the files are residing? According to the normal discussion which you are having in your knowledge point of view, in my Python program, you take my Python file, sum.py, ATM menu.py, yesterday's class, banking operations.py, your resume.doc, text files. All those are called what? Files. Where they are residing? In the hard disk or not? Come on, in the hard disk. So the data which is present inside of my hard disk is always supposed to be available on some name. That name is known as what? File name we can call. What is that name? So I'm going to give you the conclusion here. I'm going to give you the conclusion here. I'm going to make my data to be available in the secondary memory. That is nothing but hard disk. Here I'm going to mention it. Secondary memory here. Secondary memory. Secondary memory I'm going to give you. So I'm going to give you the clarity on this area. Secondary memory, which is nothing but what here? Hard disk. In simple word, I'm writing here called hard disk. First of all, try to understand the scenario. What is main memory? What is secondary memory? You need to know. What is main memory? This part is comes under main memory. Main memory is nothing but what? Where the place we can just store the data and we can execute it and process it and displaying the result. And it cannot persist any of the data permanently. It is known as what? Main memory. To store anything more permanently, I will just transfer into which memory? Secondary memory, where I can store my data. Where I can store my data? In the form of what? Come on, quickly. In the form of files. Or in the form of what? Database. There are two places we can store the data permanently. One is in the form of what? Files. One more is in the form of. So this I'm going to write it files, and one more is in the form of database softwares. Database softwares. So we are going to store our data either in the form of file you can store, or in the form of where you can store? Database you can store. So if I'm able to store my data permanently in the form of file or in the form of database, if I'm able to write the code of like that, if I train to store my data either in the form of file or in the database, we call it as which application? Persistent application we can call. Which application? Right. Now newly we will learn a new technique in the Python programming, how to read the data from the files as well as from where? Database also. So how many ways are there to read the data? So far we learned how to read the data from the keyboard. Today we are learning the data from we are learning the data from where? Files, as well as next we are going to learn the data from CSV files. Next we are learning the data, how to read the data from other networking. In different places I will explain the mechanism. So this is called reading the data from where? Reading the data from where? Come on, say quickly. Reading the data from where? Files. And then where? Database. So in this place, the way which I am going to store my result from main memory into where? Secondary memory. In the form of files or in database. We call it as which application? Persistent applications we can call. This type of application development comes under what? Persistent. So I'm going to give you the clarity here, known as what? Persistent. Persistent applications we can call. So I'm going to give you the clarity now. How many types of applications are there? Two types. One is non-persistent, and all your previous programs, if anybody was executed, we call it as non-persistent. What we are learning now? So if I am writing the program using files, it is known as what? Persistent. I will write a Python program which will communicate with Oracle database, MySQL database, MongoDB, SQLite 3, any database I can use it to communicate with any database. It is known as what? Persistent. First of all, did you understand the meaning of persistent? Persistent means permanent storage. Permanent. Suppose for example, I have written the data on the screen. While I am closing my system, definitely it will ask you, do you want to save this changes or not? To save this thing, I will give one file name or not? Why I am giving file name? Next time, I can remember, I can open it for my future reference purpose. Am I correct? Fine. Let us come back to this place. Students, is this diagram is clear? Is this diagram is clear? Quickly. So I will go to the meaning, I will create it. Let us go back to this case. In the context of files, we have two types of applications. Right? They are for the purpose of notes I am preparing. One is called what? Non-persistent applications. After a few minutes, I will write the title part. What is the purpose of exception handling? Topmost point, to build robust applications. To build, how can we say it is a robust? Because it is giving which messages? User-friendly error messages. That's why my application is called what? Robust. Paima, need to speak. First day, na? Online to offline. Say, speak. So, exception handling purpose is what? To build robust application. How can we say that it is a robust? Whatever mistake I do, it will intimate me. Hence, my application is what? Robust. Files purpose is what? To achieve the persistency. Why I am using files in every programming language? To achieve the persistency. For that purpose, I will use which programming? C files you take it, C++ files you take it, Java files you take it, .NET files, Python files, even in new languages coming tomorrow. Any files concept is taking what purpose? Persistency. Okay. The main purpose of files is that to achieve what? The persistency, achieve the data persistency. Data is the most important in real world. Based on the data, lot of decision making can be done. Such a type of decision making to be done, I have to preserve my data into different places permanently. One of such places is called what? Persistent applications. Whatever we discussed so far comes under what? Non-persistent applications. Second is called what? Persistent applications we can call. Two types of applications we can call. One is non-persistent application. One more is called persistent. Let me give you the clarity on non-persistent application development. Tell me, Ma. In non-persistent applications development, what we did? We accept the data from where? Keyboard. Okay. Come on. Fast. Stored in main memory. Anything stored in main memory, which is the best example of volatile memory, temporary memory. Anything stored in main memory, which is nothing but what? Temporary data, I can say. Temporary data. I hope you might be knowing this is a general knowledge. Temporary data. This is called a temporary data. Main memory is nothing but what? Temporary memory. Right or not? So, in non-persistent applications development, we accept the data from the keyboard, stored in main memory, comma, processed it, and results are displayed and shown on the monitor. Okay. And this type of applications are called what? Right. As long as power is on, as long as program is active, my data will persist. Once my application is deactivated, my results is gone. Am I correct? We know that I'm writing that. We know some general information I'm writing. We know that main memory is a temporary memory. And whose data is volatile. Volatile means what? As long as power is on, data will be available. Once the power is lost, data will be lost. Once the program is deactivated, for example, I executed what yesterday? ATM demo. And I deactivated means another program I am running. So previous ATM demo application data gone or not? And present program running result only will be available. That is known as what? Volatile. I hope you are understanding that. Now, since data is important for organizations, for making effective decisions, so that Data must be preserved. Data must be stored. Data must be stored permanently. Permanently. Data must be stored permanently. So we need to learn the programming of how to store our results permanently. Which programming in Python I can learn? Files. Or which type of programming I can learn? Python using database. Java using database also you can do. C language using database also you can do. C++ also we can use for database communication. Any programming language is having the capability to communicate with the database. Dear students, since data is an important for organizations for making effective decisions, so the data must be stored permanently. So I'm writing here, in persistent application development, what do we do? Quickly, I'm asking one question, ma. What is the question I am giving? Written test question. Accept employee details from the keyboard, store it permanently. Accept employee details from keyboard and store them in a file. That is my question to you. Written test question it is. Come on, start, see the diagram. What details I have to get it? Accept the details from the keyboard, employee number, employee name, employee salary, and employee designation. How many details I got it? Where they are available in? So such a type of main memory data we just shown on the monitor so far. But today what are we doing? We want to store those 4 details into where? File. That is what we are learning now. That is known as which application? Very good. Coming to the point back, in persistent applications development, no doubt in that, we read the data from the keyboard. In persistent application development, we accept the data from the keyboard. Results are stored in main memory, temporary data, processed it, and whose results, come on ma, whose results must be stored permanently. How to store permanently, sir? Which type of approaches are there? Now I am going to give you. In industry, I am giving an introduction here. In industry, we have two approaches to store the data permanently. We have two approaches to store the data permanently. They are, come on dear students, one is by using files, one more by using, by using database softwares. That's why make your laptops ready with these kind of databases, MySQL, etc. You make your laptops ready with Oracle and MySQL. Are you understanding? Yeah. So first we are entering in industry. We have two approaches to store the data permanently. One is by using. So first I will start our persistency application development using. Next I will go for data persistency by using in that Oracle, and then MySQL I will use it. And don't expect that sir will explain Oracle database, because I am not a Oracle trainer. I will explain queries, concept I will explain, queries, how to deal with it. So that is going to be common for both Oracle and MySQL. And I will explain the special library in Python to communicate with these kind of databases, which is a very, very important in project point of view. Be careful about it. Shall we move forward? Yeah. Now I am going to take up why we are going for persistent application development in files. I hope you are understanding. So types of applications in files of what? Python. This is my starting part of it. Now we are entering into, what is next? Come on. Persistent applications in where? Files. So files in Python, that is nothing but persistency applications in file. So let us start with the beginning definition of file. So we are entering into the definition of file. How many approaches are there to make my data persistency? One is by using One more by using. Yes, first I am going to deal with what? Data persistency by using files. This is what I am entering into that. Data persistency by using files in Python. So let us start with what is the definition of file. So beginning, I want to go for a definition of file. Shall we start? Yes, dead easy. You need not have any knowledge of your one knowledge. I will create my knowledge just to understand that. That's enough. Now I am asking a question. Every input of the program stored in dash. Main memory in the form of dash. Super. Simply super. Good. Every input of the program stored in main memory in the form of, and it is temporary. And it is temporary. That is volatile. Okay. Very nice. Good. Now I'm going for such a type of thing. I'm going to give it. Okay, sir. This is called main memory, my dear student. This is called main memory. What is the data I got it? Main memory. Fine. So I got it from my keyboard. Employee number, employee name, salary, designation. I got it. Where can I hold it? In main memory they are coming. Where can I store employee number, employee name, salary, designation? Online students, I will ask. Where can I store? Object, Ranjan, perfect. Which object? File is where somewhere separate. First I am in main memory only. Come on, which object? RAM object. Arun Kumar, my dear student. Shai Rekha. Main memory object. Okay. Definitely they will answer. Definitely they will answer. Definitely I am expecting. Definitely I am waiting for 2 minutes. Yes, Shravani, you are very close to the answer, ma. Asif, you are also very close to the object. Right. Senapati. Once again, repeat, sir. Okay. So, I want to accept employee number, employee name, salary, designation. Stored in the main memory. In the form of what? You only said that what? Object. Now I am asking which object? Which object? Senapati, you are very close. Yes, Lakshmi, very good, ma. List class. List class. Oh, this much easy, sir, right? List. List is a data type which allows us to store multiple values of same type, different type, all the types with unique, duplicate, everything. Explained or not? Presence of mind is important. దీన్నే తెలుగులో ఏమంటారంటే సమయస్ఫూర్తి అంటారు. సో క్వశ్చన్కు తగ్గ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పడం. Hindi students cannot understand what I am talking. So, presence of mind is very important. I want to store employee number, employee name, salary, designation. What types are he asking? Multiple values, same type, different type, all the types. What is that? List. Why can't I go for a tuple? It is a immutable. Why I go for list? It is a mutable. Why I don't go for set? It is a unique values. Yes or no? So I want to go for what? List. Presence of mind is important. Fine. So come on to the point of it. I will take it as what here? List object I will take it. One list object I will take it. Look at the list object I am taking. I am taking the list object here. You observe it. I am taking my list object is what? I got the number 10. I got the number 10. Next is called row sum. 4.5 designation is called SC. Is called what? LST. This is called LST. This is called L1. L1. List is over or not over? Then why you did not answer? You should feel it. If you go on reading, na, you just a moment when Sar is asking the question, directly will tell the answer. Only one thing when you are unable to say means not having perfection in the reading process. Right. L1 object is created. So this L1 is an object which is available in main memory, which is going to be what? Temporary or permanent? Temporary. Now I want to transfer this entire object into where? Into where? Secondary memory. Into secondary memory. Secondary memory means what? It organizes cylinders, sectors, etc. You cannot locate it. That's why in that I never bother about the hardware point of it. I will take it one file name. What is that file name? It is called a secondary memory. It is called a secondary memory. You know that secondary memory. In the secondary memory, I just take it as what? I'm just taking it as what? What is my file? My file is called what file? Employee. EMP dot info. EMP dot data. It is your own extension. You can give it. You can give your own extension. Whichever extension you like it, I can just take it. EMP.IBM, EMP.IBM, IBM employee data. It is called just a file name. I'm giving what? Info file. Are you following first of all? So to store my object data into secondary memory, definitely what must exist? File name. What is the file name first of all? First, let me ask that basic question. A file name is a named location in which one? Secondary memory. Why should you give a name? In tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if I want to retrieve my data, definitely what is required? File name is required. Suppose you buy 10 notebooks in your childhood days. You are writing the name now. Science notebook, social notebook, maths notebook, English notebook. Why are you writing on the top of it? It's a file name. To recognize, to easy to locate, I will give some name to it. Am I correct? Like that. Come on now. I will save. With my programming of Python, I will save my data. I will save my data. I will save 4.5. I will say the software engineer. What is this is called? What is this is called? Record. REC1. REC1. This is called record 1. Are you able to follow, students? This is called record 1, or just this is called record number 1. Come on. Object data transfer to where? File of secondary memory. What is this EMP info called? File name. Actually, files means people will feel lot of difficulty first of all because of what lack of understanding. File resides in where? Say secondary memory. Residing means where it is available. Objects are residing in where? Simple. Every object data of main memory is becoming as what? Record. Records are existing in where? Files are existing in where? That's it. Apply for all the languages. Once we learn one point, it is a internationalization. It should be general point. Objects resides in where? Main memory. Object data is there in main memory, which is a temporary. Such object data need to store it in where? Permanently. Means a secondary memory. To store it in secondary memory, what is required? File name. What is the file name now? emp.info. And what is the data coming? This entire data coming into the file of secondary memory. We call it as what? Record. Like that, I will keep it into infinite while loop. Enter the second employee data. Second employee data also I will put it here. 20, something like Dennis Ritchie. I will say something like, 7.8. He is called a TL. He is called a TL. So see this student. I am going to give you the clarity on this part. I am going to give you the clarity on this part. This is called what again? This is called record. Record, REC2. REC2. This is called record. Now I am going to give you the clarity on REC2. Like that, just imagine. Now I am going on taking. Last I will take it as what? Some 60. Now I am writing something like RR. I am writing here, something like 5.6 is nothing but something like an SC. It is also called what? RECN, record N. N number of records or not? Good. Tell me, now you answer me without any mistake. What is the definition of file? It is there in front of you. That's it. Collection of records is called what? Records are originally present in where? Records are originally present in where? Records are you understanding or not? Records are originally present as what? Objects are not. Object data only becoming what? Record. Record word is coming when object data coming to which one? File. So tell me now, object data becoming as what? So later I will read the record from the file into main memory, which is becoming what again? So object is becoming as what? Record. Record is becoming as what? This is the total files programming in real time. So in files, what is happening here? Every object data of which memory? Main memory becomes record. I am writing here. Record in the every object data of main memory becomes record in the file of secondary memory. Don't tell secondary memory. You have to add the word called what? File of secondary memory. Then only it is correct. Every object data of main memory becomes a record in the file of which memory? And vice versa. I hope you understand this word. What is that meaning? Record of file will become object in main memory. This concept is a very important in my Python programming. The total Python programming runs behind of this code, behind of this point only. So how much important this point I cannot imagine in my life. So that much importance will be there for this kind of thing. So keep in mind that how much important this wording is. Please read once. Every object of main memory will become record in the file, and every record will become what? Object in where? Yes. So this is the flow between what? Main memory to such a type of flow between main memory and secondary memory is known as what? Stream we can call. What is that? Stream. Some people will ask in interview point of view, what do you mean by stream? What is meant by stream handling in file? What do you mean by file handling in file? File handling, stream handling is nothing but what? Main memory data will be coming to the file and the file data will be coming to object. This is the most important point. I hope you people understand this concept. Clear? Huh? So students in the online, are you okay? Is it okay, students? Quickly. Right? Yes, Ranjan, volatile to non-volatile, this kind of information will be coming. Once again, stream, sir. Okay. Stream is nothing but what? Data present in where? Main memory. Transferring into where? File of secondary memory. I told you already, don't call secondary memory asset. Again, you are calling secondary memory. What can I do? File of data resides in where originally? Object of what? Memory will become what? Record in where? File of which memory? That's it. Don't call secondary memory. Next time if I see, I will send you out. File of secondary memory. Spell out. The transmission of data between main memory and just 1 minute also not over. So you are so volatile. You are like a bubble on the water. When it burst, I don't know. I said 2 times, 3 times. File of secondary memory. File of secondary memory. So many times I said. The object data of main memory will become file of secondary memory. Record in the file of secondary memory. Record in the file of, and a record of file of secondary memory will become an object. Such a type of flow between your main memory and file of secondary memory is called what? Stream. Rocky, is it okay? Understand. Still, if you don't understand, your BTech is the best example. Your BTech is the best example. Tomorrow exam is there. What do you do today night? You will do something. So keep it some information into here. The moment one question paper is there, dumping everything. Question is from university, answer is yours only. So next day, will you remember that? Next day, will you remember? Say openly, speak some day one weekly of 6 to 7 days, one day open secret. Will you remember? No. So Raju saying very big no. No. Next day, one more subject. Next day, one more subject, like that, all subjects over. Brain is what? After exams are over, what is your brain content? Empty. Next minute also, sir. Next minute. He's saying not next day, next minute. Right. Empty. So here, that's why. Okay. So something remember minus something gone, sir. That is equal to 0 only. Garbage collector collects. Okay. Very good. Come on. So if I go on talking, online people will become more excited. So if I don't want to go for it. Come on to my subject. Come on. Definition of file, please. A file is a collection of what? Records. File is a collection of? Good. Now, files resides in where? Files resides in resides in where? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. Okay. Files resides in secondary memory. Technically, what is file name? Technically, file name. File name is a named location in where? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. Technically, file name is a named location in where? Secondary memory. What is a file? A file is a collection of what? And don't get what do you call difficult confusion between file name and file. File is a collection of what? A file name is a named location in where? Right. That is done. Now I am writing one important point. All the records, all the objects data of what? Main memory becomes records in where? File of secondary memory and vice versa. So I can say this word. I hope you will remember. Opposite also hold good, right or not? Very good. Now I am going to ask you the question. Now I am going to give you the definition. Definition of what also I want to give? Stream I want to give. Because sometimes this question also will come across. What is the stream was? The flow of data between main memory and file of. Once if I say something, blindly you remember it. File of which memory? Secondary memory. Is called what? Stream. Is called stream. That's it. Is called stream. Very good. Now this is called a definition of what? File. Now we have a clarity. Every object resides in where? Main memory. Every object record resides in where? My hard disk. Separate na? Main memory is called RAM, RAM. Hard disk is called what? Another hardware component. RAM is one component. Hard disk also one more component. Separation is there? Yes. By default, our data stored in where? Main memory. Such main memory data where I want to store? File of secondary memory. File no, secondary memory no. Combine and then say. By default, data stored in where? Object of main memory. Will be stored in where? File of secondary memory. For that, which programming I have to learn? files. Which programming I have to learn? Right. So now I am going for entering into definition of file and then file related information, definition of stream also I explained. Now I am entering into types of files I want to explain. Which files? Types of files. Later I will go for operations on files I will explain. Next students, look at that and I am going to enter into this part, types of what? Files. Beginning, I want to go for types of files. What are the various files are available and how they are interacting with us? We want to go for it. Types of files, I just want to take it. Very, very simple. Students who are in the online, up to here, is it clear? Up to this part, is it clear? Clear? Right? Good. So let us move to the next part here. Next part here. Another point I want to go for it. Next mechanism, I just want to go for it. We have in Python, I can start with. In Python programming, we have two types of files. We have two types of what? Files. Two types of files. They are, what is the first one? Text files. B is called what, you know? Binary files. Text files and then what? Binary files. What is a text file? I just want to give you. What is the binary file? I want to give you. Very, very simple. Text file. The name itself says what it contains. God has given some knowledge for you already. Text file contains what? You know that I know. Text file contains, you see, Hari Krishna is saying text. Good. Text nothing but what? String. Now I am writing. Text files contains alphabets, comma what next? Digits, comma what? Special symbols only. All our Python files are called text files. All our C++ programs are called text files. All our Java programs are called text files. Any language files are called what? Text files. Example, I can write it. One small sentence also I want to write it. .doc file, .py files, .cpp files, what next? Py files, .xls files, Excel. Understand? Etc. These are all comes under what? TXT. Yes, sir. TXT, comma, TXT file, etc. These are all comes under which files? Yes. Text files are denoted by are denoted by, in Python sentence they are giving, denoted by a letter T. Denoted by a letter. Where I will use a T, I will tell you that. Watching mobile. Writing. Very good. So listen. So text files are denoted by what? Letter T. Where I will specify the files, text file, I will tell you that. And if I don't specify binary file or text file, by default, which file will be taken? Text file will be taken. By default, a file is taken as which file? Text file. I am showing in the programming part. Don't worry about it. Okay. This is called which file? Text file I am going to discuss. Next I am going to talk about binary file. I want to explain, students. See that? Binary file I want to go for it. What is the binary file? B. I am talking about binary file. Binary files I just want to talk about it. What is the binary file? A binary file contains, you can easily say, binary file contains the data in the form of binary format. That is zeros and ones. In the form of what? Binary format. That is nothing but zeros and ones. That is obviously you know. And My dear students, and this is also one point to remember. Once you open the binary file, don't think that it is open available in zeros and ones, because I'm opening in some external editors that will be available in some special symbols. But internally it is understandable by the execution environment is in the form of binary only. Fine. What are the examples of it? See examples, I am going to write it. All sorts of images. All sorts of images. That is images. I can write images. Like what you know, students? Images are what? .gif, comma, JPEG, comma, JPG, JPG, comma, PNG, etc. This is called one type of images or not? Next is called what? Audio files. Audio files. Next is called video files. Video files. Come on. Video files. Video files. Next is called what? Audio files, video files. Next is called what? MP3 files. Yes, that is nothing but what you know, MP3 files, all kinds of songs and etc. Next is called what? That is PDF formats will be there or not? In PDF, some images will be there or not? Text will be there plus images will be there. Text plus images is comes under which file? Binary file. That is called PDF files. These are all comes under etc. Comes under what file? Good. Now I am going to write it. Text files are human readable. Text files are what? Human readable. You can just open and you can read. Binary files are not human readable. It's a machine readable because it is in which format? And it is machine readable, students. Machine readable. You must understand this point. And it is, I can write here, and it is human readable. Human readable. Of course, you can understand the text file meaning itself. And one more point I would like to say, text files are denoted by letter called what? D. Here I am writing. Binary file is denoted by, easy. Binary file is denoted by a letter D. Sorry, B. Denoted by a letter called what? B. So how to open the file in binary? How to open the file in text format? I will explain. When I come to binary file, you see, when I come to pickling and unpickling, I need to take the files always in binary format. Understanding? So that time, object serialization, this is called object serialization. Object deserialization, when it comes to this mechanism, I will use what file you know? Binary file I will use it. Yes, ma, Ganesh Verma, empty file. Empty file. When I am specifying the file, you have to specify compulsory what? Binary in a text file. Here I wrote it. By default, a file is taken as which file? Text file. What is an empty file by default? Text file. The meaning is there, Ganesh Verma. So, write text file. If I specify the binary file, if I specify the empty file also binary file, how I will specify the letter called what? B. How to specify this letter T and a letter B? I am going to give you the clarity on it. Right now, nothing to worry about at this stage. How many files are there? One is, and one more is, suppose I typed something in my screen. What file it is? Text file. No images. No images. Right, mom? CSV file. My dear student, Rocky, CSV file is one of the text file only, treated as what? Excel document it is treated. Here I wrote it, XLSX. XLSX. Rocky, did you understand? Text file it is. It is treated as what? XLSX. Right or not? I will teach about CSV file. I will open it where I used to teach the CSV file. When I come to my place in the 7 a.m., when I completed the Pandas level, I used to go to CSV file. You see CSV file, just to try to open it. You see comma separated values. CSV stands for what? Comma separated values. The moment when I save it in my program, it is available as an Excel sheet. You double click on it, it is an Excel sheet. Understand? The Excel sheet is nothing but what is an extension? dot xlsx, but it is called which file? Comma separated value, comma separated value. You see here Microsoft Excel comma separated values. I will explain separately. First you just follow me blindly, you follow me. XLS Noma Renuka, that is the old version of MS Office. XLSX con JSON file also, that is a dead easy left hand left finger in our class. Nothing to worry, everything I will tell you, just to follow the leader, that's it. Okay, right. So coming to the point back, keep it that a CSV file, just to 2 minutes in our class. Fine. So that's why from the basic level, I am going to enter into that. From the basic, without having this programmatic knowledge, even if you go to X file, Y file, Z file, nothing is going to happen. First, strong pillars are required. Then only we can do anything else. Right? So only names is not an important. Programming knowledge is important on particular area. Understand? Let's move to the further operation. So up to here, is it clear? Is it clear up to here? Line number 19, something happens. A binary file contains the data in the form of binary format, and it is machine readable. Binary file is denoted by what? Letter called B. How it is used, I am going to tell you in that. Next, I am going to talk about operations on the files. Clear? Let us start. What is the use of files? What is the use of files? Why are you not saying maintaining silence? Is it a new question? Topmost sentence is that only. What is the use of data types? To allocate the memory space. What is the use of operators? To do some operation on your data. What is the use of looping and conditional statements? To perform one operation at a time, to perform the operation repeatedly. What is the use of functions? To provide the operations and reduces the code. Provides the code reusability. What is the use of modules? To provide the code reusability across the programs. What is the use of packages? To provide the code reusability across the environments, across the folders, across the missions. What is the use of exception handling? To build the robust applications. What is the use of files? To build the persistent applications. Python in 1 minute. In YouTube, you are getting Python in 2 hours. Python in Telugu, Python in Hindi. These are all, that's why students are going out. This is called a dangerous season is going on. Right? These are all called, definitely Python in Telugu. So many people will see. Because they will love their mother tongue. And when they don't know English also, they will see Telugu only. Even in engineering colleges, people are teaching the subject in really Telugu. Because I come to know, right? Fine. So electronic subjects like that, they are teaching in Telugu. Really, they're real. I don't know how they are teaching. It's really salute to them, but it's not possible. Python in Telugu. How to, have you listened that Python in Telugu? Yes, you might be seen that. Because you will look into that only. Sorry, speaking always in English. No, Telugu is important. Because anything is so wrong, we will attract towards it. Am I correct? Suppose some fighting is going on, you will stop and waiting there only. An IAS officer is coming and giving some motivational important thing. Nobody will be there. Only he is only speaking. That's what. Good things are requiring lot of time to spread. Whereas bad thing, one moment. Like that. So, okay, Ranjan. Many students don't understand. So Ranjan is giving a final certificate to many people. Right? Okay. So let us go to the letter. One thing you remember. Suppose Python in 6 hours. For example, assume. Will you get a job? 7th hour? 6 hours, 11, na? 7th hour, will you get a job? First of all, if I become a CM or something, I will ban this 6 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. First YouTube channel close. Python in 6 hours, 7 hours, data science, machine learning in 4 hours. By seeing that what is happening, how the world is going on, I don't know. Rosam developed for 10 years to develop this Python. And Python in Telugu is one person is speaking. Please subscribe my channel. Click on bell icon. This icon. What is this icons? I don't know. Whenever I speak, you will laugh also. And you will see Python in Telugu. You will click on that only. Don't do that. And one more thing you remember. Who will keep in YouTube? Which is not useful, they will keep. Will you give your pen free of cost? I never give. Will you give? Even if person is asking, give me one paper, center paper in your notebook, means I won't give, for example. Why? If I give daily one paper, daily will come and sit with me only, give me one paper. I am remembering, of course, all the way I said, because Saturday also, just I want to. I learned Oracle in my BTech. I went to that by taking book and I went. One person came. First day, na demo, they came and they asked me, give me one paper. So I gave first paper, second paper. No, give me center paper. So he has 4 pages or 5 pages. I gave one page I gave. Let it be asked. So he written. Next day also, he came with that paper, what is written. Next day also asking me that one more paper. I said, give me that paper. Yesterday I gave. Today I don't want, because my notes is important. Na? Daily, why I purchase notes to give that person. I said, give me that paper back again. I said, bring tomorrow one white paper, whatever I give me the same paper back. I said, next time onwards, he did not sit with me. So we should not entertain that. So next day he brought notes or not, I don't know. After 3 days, he is not there. So any person is coming to the book to the class, he is sincere. Without book, anybody comes, no certificate I am giving. Of course, maybe applicable to you also. First day you came without book also, right? Of course, first day you are coming. Now you are present world people, you are roaming here and there. Just I am saying in general. You also know this. Okay, from somewhere to somewhere it is gone, right? So I'm saying that something is free in 4 hours machine learning, artificial intelligence in 1 hour. That is only artificial intelligence. That type of things, if you learn, you will not get a original subject so clearly. That's why learn so perfectly. If anything is most useful, nobody is ready to put that content in the YouTube. Am I correct? Rosam is there. He is also a scientist, na? His videos are there? No. Why? You won't put like that. So don't read those kind of things. Don't try to do that also. Fine. So coming to the point of it. So yes, ma, Surya, that is correct. Surya, correct. So coming to the point, next. So next I want to go for what? So we discussed some importance of files, types of applications and data persistency, file definition and types of files. Next we want to go for what? Operations on files. Shall we discuss operations on files Monday? So every Saturday, I also want to take half an hour time because I have to upload some notes. Next, this is now 5:30, 5:31. So I'll stop the class. Just 10 more minutes. Anyhow, I have to stop. Operations, if I start, it will not complete in today. It will be a problem if I just complete hurriedly. So I'll stop the class. And Monday class, what is my topic name? Operations on files. Don't miss the topic. Continuous topics are important. Okay? Right. So we will stop it. And Monday class, don't miss the class. Okay? Thank you. Good day.